Welcome to East by West Farms. Here we grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Today I'm going to clean the garden area to prepare for a real freeze that is coming on Monday. This is the Thanksgiving weekend, and we haven't had a real freeze up to this point. We had a little bit light frost, and some of the sweet potatoes get a little bit damaged, but it was not really affecting the roots. But the forecast says that on Monday we're going to have below freezing temperature, and so we needed to get the garden area ready. Behind me is a big serrano pepper bushes. It has been producing through the summer, and now that we got these beautiful red peppers, unfortunately they are not going to survive when the freeze hit. So what I'm going to do is cut all the branches off, get some of the healthy looking branches and make cutting out of them and put them in a greenhouse and see if they will be able to take roots. When this pepper is young, I put a tomato cage around it to support it. And of course now the pepper is completely grown out of it. When I cut the branch off, what I will end up is basically just the root with the tomato cages around it. Then I will cover it with a plastic bag and mulch heavily around the root ball area. Here in Texas, we only get kind of cold snaps. We could get a freezing temperature next week, and then after that is balmy and very nice winter through. If I can protect it from the freezing, they might actually be able to survive the winter and give us another year of pepper production next year. To get cutting out of this, I have a 5-gallon bucket with some water. So I just trim this off and stick this in there. I butched the tree pretty well, and that is what I will keep. I can probably cut it even lower, but I think I give it a try with this height now. Next, I'm going to use a plastic bag. So this is the bag we got from the fish store, and they are actually very good quality plastic bag, so I save it so I can reuse it for this purpose. It's perfect for the tomato cages. Behind me, you see a big, very dense jungle of sweet potatoes and water spinach that kind of covers everything. I also found watermelon that is still blooming, but I guess we will not get much watermelon out of it. We also have some kales because of the ground cover provided by the sweet potatoes and the water spinach. They actually survived through the summer. So when I take the sweet potato and the water spinach out, they will be thriving. have some green onions over there. That's winter, cool season vegetable. So they will like it when I take all the sweet potato stuff out. I'm on the south side of the single wide, and it seems to be the single wide provide some protection for the plants over here because the cold wind is coming from the north. I'm going to do an experiment to just leave a small patch over here and cover it with clear plastic and see if I can keep them through the winter. That way I don't need to plant new plants for the spring. I cleaned this area reasonably well, and the next thing to do is I'm going to dig up a few things to put in a pot. And we already bought a hoop greenhouse, but haven't have time to set it up yet. For now, I'm going to just dig it up and put in a 5-gallon bucket. And then once we have time to set up the greenhouse, we put it in there, and hopefully it will keep them through winter. And then in spring, I will be able to get cuttings from them or plant them back into the soil. Here is a big sweet potato roots. I'm not sure we will get sweet potatoes out of this or not because this was growing from cuttings. Even if we don't have sweet potatoes over here, we can dig it up and put it in a pot and let them continue to grow through winter, and then transplant them back to the garden or get cuttings for this to start the next year's crop. I'm not sure whether I have sweet potatoes or not, so I'm just going to use a sharpshooter to dig it up. Doesn't look like I have sweet potatoes over here. Oh, well, I was wrong. Not big ones. There's a big one over here. All right, look like we have a big sweet potato over here. Well, that's not bad. That's what I got from this one plant, and I know this is from cutting. I got 2 probably is we can use for cooking. The rest of it, I will just save it for so that they can grow slips out in the spring. I will also plant this in a pot. When the weather is nice, they will shoot out new leaves. Depends on the weather here. We might even get some sweet potato leaves for cooking. In front of me are the water spinach. The leaves kind of look like sweet potatoes. They belong to the same nightshade family, but they don't grow. This water spinach that does not get tubers. So we mainly plant this for the greens. This actually is another plant that grows better than weed. What I'm going to do is dig it up and again put it in a pot to let it survive through winter. While I was digging up this big clump of water spinach root up, UPS truck just came and delivered a big box of pots that I ordered. I will call it a perfect just-in-time delivery. Okay. I just ripped one out of the ground, and you can see how strong the roots are. It's absolutely amazing. And there are lots of shoots over here. So I'm going to just put some soil and plant it here. And then when spring comes, I will separate them. So this is about like 20 plants for me for spring. So I'm just going to use the native soil over here. They have lots of organic matter because of the roots. I could use these roots also, but since I have so many of them, I'm just going to use the big one. So I trim the roots and put it in there and fill it up with soil. That's one done, and I will make a few more of them with this huge root mass, and we should have enough supply for next year. I cleaned out this area pretty well and got enough transplants for next year. The last thing I needed to do is to trim this basil and also dig it up for planting. So basil can grow from cuttings. So basically I'm going to cut all the way down and stick this in the pot. and hopefully it will take root, and we will have a fresh supply of basil for the winter. For this guy, I'm going to dig it up and put it in a pot as well. So next year I can get cutting from the new growth of this to make more basil plants, so I don't need to start them from seedlings. After I cleaned out the plants, I have a troop of chickens come to help me to get rid of the bug. They seem doing a really good job. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, please leave it down below. If you have not done so, please hit the subscribe button to follow our journey with the East by West farms.